Hi, it's me, she at Conscious Healing. Hi, everybody. I had to try to squeeze this in. I'm home for one day and then I'm back out on the road for travel. So I came in late last night. I slept today. I meditated, and now I want to get right to this reading because over the last week while I was out, I saw my dear beloved unicorns, Pegasus, everywhere I went. So I know that the unicorn came into my life because it's for me. It's for me. I am of the sun sign of Capricorn. So moving on, we're just going to the spirit. When I did the spirit animal card for meditation, the unicorn came out again. And I'm going to take that energy for me. And if you're sharing that energy with me, then we know that we are in a pure state of enlightenment. We're being downloaded with a lot of information on the spiritual realm, and we're just going to move for that. If you want more information or you want to dig deeper into this unicorn journey with me through a reading, let me know, contact me, and we'll go from there. Right now, we're just going to focus on the energies for all of us here on this universe. Happy July! July is here. We're halfway through the rest of the year right now, starting with our 7th month. And last month actually was the half year point, but this begins the new journey into the second part of the year. And when you add up the numbers, 7 in 2019, we come up with a 1. And so it also says that in the month of July, we're starting new beginnings. So this is exciting. This is exciting. The last video I talked about how we had come to full circle of completion. We had come into our crown chakra, and we are still in that energy. So we're going to pick up on that. I used my crystal amethyst to give us energy for the cards this time. And purple amethyst is our color. So, and white, isn't that beautiful? You can find these rocks everywhere. I cannot remember because I've had mine for a while, but it's beautiful. I've also cleansed it with some Palo Santo, which to me smells yummy. But this legendary power of this crystal is a purification stone. It is a signification with our crown chakra. We talk about that crown chakra right on the top of our head. We've been talking about that since the last reading. So if you've been wearing a little purple somewhere underneath or somewhere in your wardrobe, in your jewelry, you're actually tapping into your highest chakra. And you're really, really being connected to source of the universe that is providing an inner and outer beauty in your life and just pure bliss. So we're just going to stay within that energy, and we're going to shuffle our cards. We're going to get into this reading. I hope you guys had a beautiful week last week. I had a wonderful week. I wasn't even sure if I would be able to do these energies today, but I decided I had to get into this energy field because it's basically controlling me. It's taking over me. It's telling me, get to it, get to it. You have some energies out there that are waiting to see where we're going from here. It's the beginning of July, so let's make it happen. We're doing our spiritual, mystical shaman cards. And these cards, guys, I told you, these cards, they went from being overbearingly powerful to this, and they're cool. They're cool today. And they're strong, And spirit guides, thank you for the cards you've given us. Do you have any more cards for us? I've just been really, really struggling with handling these cards because, like I said, they are really powerful energies, and I have been working with them now for a few months. And I also picked up another pair of spiritual cards in the Shaman Rim, and they're just as beautiful, but I'm still working with the energies of those cards before we actually pull those out and bring them in to any of my readings. So I think that's where we are, guys. That's it right now. I've been shuffling these cards now. Every time I see them, even if I'm not doing a reading, I've been shuffling them, absorbing their energy, and so we're going to keep it there. That's where we are. Let me put them to the side because I want you to be able to see these cards. So I'm going to try to pull these cards out as they came out and put them together, and we're just going to flip them over and talk to them as they talk to us. So, here we are. We're here with the Earth card. And we've been talking about the Earth and how Mother Earth has been really driving the energies of the Earth. The Earth itself, globally, if you look at, what's happening around the world, the news is just one sad story after another, one more day of pain for some of us, and some of us means all of us. All of us are affected by these energies that are an attack on our Earth. So we've had this card before, and we're going to reiterate that, this represents the gift of life, our human life. It's a symbol of our body, of our planet Earth, and our human body, and nature itself, and how we human beings are to be more involved in loving of the Earth in this planet that we have been given. And what we're doing to it, what we're doing here while we are here, is very important because it becomes a part of who we are and how we breathe and the air we need to survive, just basic survival. And I'm telling you guys, every time I, pick up a reading material paper, even go on the internet or a newspaper or turn on the TV, there's always something about how someone is trying to either destroy the Earth or how someone is trying to make money by telling us that, our Earth is doomed. The Earth cannot be doomed. Only we can be doomed because the Earth itself is much more powerful and stronger than we are. But it is the place where we all reside. And so the medicine that goes to this card says, do you feel ungrounded? And I would say as a whole, we are ungrounded in the Earth's energy. And so we have to try to find a way to focus on nurturing Mother Earth and open up to the healing of Mother Earth so that you can grasp and pull in all the abundance that's, around you. And abundance is the air you breathe, the water you drink, your shelter, and you have to trust that Mother Earth, there's no scarcity. So, when you eat her fruits, when you eat her vegetables, when you breathe her air and the beauty of her surroundings, when you get to walk in a park and see the miracle and the beauty of this earth, or you go to, there's so many places around. That's why I love traveling. Because when I'm traveling, I'm getting to see all the colors, all the creation, and actually heal my soul and myself and tap into the wonders of this planet. And it's absolutely beautiful. If you've ever been to Wyoming, you went to Yellowstone Park, or even just up to the Grand Canyon, or you go to Europe, there's just, there's so many beautiful, beautiful Tuscany. You go to the grape country in France and Italy, and here in the United States, you have California and Arizona and Virginia. You just have so many places here where Earth shows off its beauty. So, and I'm not talking about the cities. Cities with architecture and big buildings can be beautiful too, and it is a part of who we are and how we live. But if you could ever just go out where a lake is, or go down to the Caribbean islands, and you just see the wonder of Mother Earth. But there again, the stewards of those places are responsible to make sure that they hold their true value for us to experience. So we're going to move on to our next card. The next card is the child. It's a number 7 card. And we're talking about, when we look at 7, we're talking about confidence. Or when you look at that child, you think of children as innocence. Our childlike spirit is confident because it's childlike innocence. We have no fear when we learn fear from those around us. The child knows the way to joy and happiness. So if you can just tap into your child experience, your childlike dreams, the child will offer in return a second innocence for you, a time to be born of just a pure, just a naive innocence of wisdom. The child also allows you to correct your course and offer you a second chance. It brings you the possibility of redemption and entering heaven while here on earth. That's that bliss. That's that innocent. When you learn to tap into being, just seeing things with a fresh new eye, like when you fall in love or you find someone who you enjoy their company, and you tend to take on like a teasing of each other, a playing with one another, a touching of each other, in like a sweetness. And when I look at this card, I'm just staring at her. We've had this card for the first time. She's so beautiful, so innocent, so sweet. And she's like, to me, I see like a Shiva Shakti in her eyes. A Shiva Shakti is, the masculine and the feminine that we all have to somehow encounter while we're here on this earth. And that goes back to those perfect opposites, those mirrors, those twins, that vision of who we really are. And our third card is the wind. And 6 and 3. Wow, this is beautiful. 6 and 3, we've had this card a while ago, is a 9. And when we're looking at 9, we're talking about attaining or grabbing hold of or catching the wind and catching our dreams from the wind. Like, actually catching, attaining it, having it, having our desires met, having and attaining our goals. When you think of attainment, you think about actually making it happen. I got what I went for, and here it is. We're attaining it, and we are in attainment season. We are going from here to the rest of the year. We are riding the wind. And I think I told this story before about I had a dream in one of my many, many meditational states where I ran into this beautiful old sage-like woman. And she said to me, what do you do when the wind blows? And I said, I don't know. I really didn't know. I was so innocent. I was so naive. I was so lack of understanding that she said, you go with the wind. So the wind is a symbol and it represents the elements of air. So in the tarot deck, we're talking about air signs, we're talking about swords. And swords are, they they can whip up that air. So when we're talking about air and spirit and we're talking about energy, we're talking about air inspires new ideas. It rules communication. It's like I heard a song on the wind, the song, you heard a voice, or you heard a melody, or you smelt a rose. It whiffed past you because it was carried by the wind. So the wind also signifies change, because it's like, what direction is that wind blowing? And when we talk about those directions, we're back at our 4 directions. So let's look at the south. We look at the south in this card, which is towards the bottom of the card. We're talking about carrying a new sense of trust, helping your gentle beginning by getting rid of some of those habits and parts of you that you no longer need. You go down below, you go to the underworld, you go deep down into the earth, and you dig up your treasures and you leave those and bury those you no longer need. When we're talking about the west, we're talking about the W side of the card. We go to the west. When we're looking at the west, we're calling you to move more introspection. Have a willingness to make a final decision, to let go of attachments and ego and your ego's desires. So again, it's bearing, handing it over to the wind and allowing it to blow it west. Get rid of it, get it out of here. It's time to get rid of certain things. It's time to go in. Some of those things are not tangible. So it's not like burying it outside in the backyard. It's more like burying it for good inside your heart, like forgiveness. Like, not forgetting, but forgetting and letting it go. It's not, forgiveness is not forgetfulness about something that happened, because if it was a lesson, you want to remember it so you can not make the same mistakes, or allow that wind to keep you only in the direction of the west. You have to have all 4 directions. So you forget about it and heal it and let it go. But then when it needs to be recalled, that's where we say we don't worry about whether or not forgetting it, but forgiving it. When we talk about the north, we're talking about going upward. And in this card, we're looking at going up above her head into the air of the wind. And so when we go up above to the air of the wind, we're moving north. Moving north is going to help us find wisdom and strength. When we're talking about going to the east, we're going to the D part. And the east, it's like going clockwise. So the clock kind of spins, this way. You go counterclock, we go the opposite way. But we always want to be moving with time, because time is fluid. And at the same time, time has no time. Only we actually get stuck in time. So whichever the wind is blowing for you, the message with the wind whispers or shouts is a challenge. It may take courage at first to turn and face the wind, but you will find that moving forward, if you're receiving the wind's lessons, means that the spirit of the wind is calling you to make change, but that change is going to bring up some new choices, and it's going to be good for all. Beautiful. I see feathers blowing in the wind. I see grass. I see leaves. Look at that card. Which way is the wind blowing you? Our next card is a spiral. And when we talk about spirals, that's our color, our amethyst color, right in the top there. We're talking about a 50. We break it down. Let's take that 0 away. It gives us 5. We're talking about changes. Changes are always spiral. Changes are always happening. Change is constantly moving. And if we're moving again in a clockwise motion with time, with the spiral, and see that spiral is the symbol of everything in life. The earth has a code, and that code is everything you see in this card. Every single living organism of matter underneath the telescope has the same pattern that continues on and on and on. It never ends, like a number 8, that infinity sign. So when we're in the universe of time, the galaxies in the sky, this shell, let's say you find a shell at a beach, and that shell has within its source this spiral pattern. And its shape is a form, it's like coiled serpent, has been used since ancient time as a tool for growth and transformation. The spiral is a guide for entering deep into one's consciousness and into the unknown, because we don't even know if we keep going following this spiral, we don't know where it will end, if it has an ending. And that means it has no ending, because life has no ending. Then it extends out into the heavens. So, it's like, okay, you just keep going around and around and around. You go down, 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 or you go up, up, up. Where does this journey end? It's critical right now for us to surrender to the journey until we have exhausted, dissolved everything, released everything. And it's like just giving birth to a new reality. When you follow the pattern of the spiral of the serpent, that means you're shedding your skin and you're renewing yourself from the inside out. The old you will be gone. A new you, softer skin, will be growing and glowing. You'll be growing and glowing like that. Oh, wow. That means you breaking those habits of making yourself feel bad, finding all your faults, but you're actually now tapping into, what makes you unique, excuse me, in the spiral, and what makes your pattern so beautiful. I'm sorry, guys, I had to take a drink of water. I was starting to choke up there. So the medicine of the spiral is here to help guide us on our journey to renewal. So it's like we're rebirth. And the 7 is the beginning. So we're talking about that rebirth. Again, starting with this earlier month. Ooh, excuse me. Wow, we've had this card before too. And this card is bringing us to that 1. We have 3 more cards. And we're talking about the journey. We're on a journey. And this card, the 2 and the 9, gives us that 11. And 11 is a spiritual calling. The journey is a hero's journey. It's a journey to, when we talk about spiral, it's the journey to take that spiral on its course and intertwine with it, take on this new birth, take on this new way of being. The essence of this journey is an invitation to step outside your boundaries of your life. The journey is not a holiday. It is a call to be hermit-like, to go on a pilgrim into the unknown. There are no maps to the territory you will be exploring, no marked paths or road signs. The time to embark on the great journey is here. Do not hum and haw about it. Do not linger. Just go for the distance, whether it's distant shores calling you. You have to take fear and love fear, strip it away, and then draw your own chart and discover the route that is time for you to be on, because the time is now. The time is right. The time is now for you to be led to your true destiny. We've been talking about how do we get there? The journey is here. Look at that aisle. Beautiful, beautiful. We talked about the significance and the power of those birds. They're here. It's here, and it's been here again. And it's sitting right on top of our crown chakra saying, I'm here to give you everything I know, all the wisdom you need. I'm here to give you my flight, my pattern in the sea in the darkness of the night or the brightness of the sun. It is here to say, you have wings to fly. Now is the time for us to fly. And you see how he has his hands crossed over his chest and his eyes downward and his head slightly tilted down to the side. That is a sign and a blessing to say, I release all. Like you take your hands and you reach them to the sky, you flap them, you just flap them right out there and say, I can fly. I have wings to fly. I trust the journey. I trust the process, because everything you need is here to help you fly and have your truest wisdom on your journey and your path. Oh my goodness, wow. That's choking me up. No wonder I need water. Oh my goodness. Oh, and we have the sun. We've been having the moon, guys. We got the sun. Finally, the sun is here. We've been going into the night with Mother Moon. We've been weeping. We've been crying. The weeping and the crying is over. The tears of joy are here. And the sun is here to shine on our face. And that glow that we get from her is forever. It's an 8. 5 and 3 is an 8. So we've already attained. So now we are moving forward, and it's for good. This change is for good. You can't go back. You can't say, oh, no, I changed my mind, I'm going to go back. It's here for good. It is here for good. The sun is here to tell us that it is full of power. Many cultures review the sun as masculine and the moon as feminine. And other traditions is seen as feminine. Either way, it is the most brightest light for all us human beings and all beings, animals, trees, plants, life, everything on this earth. The sun brings light. As it passes the moon, it passes from dark to night and brings us into the light. If you ever seen the gentle and warming up close of a beautiful sunrise or a beautiful sunset, I don't care what time of year, fall, winter, spring, wherever you are, if you've been someplace where you could wake up early in the morning and see the sunrise, or as you were coming home and you're driving along the road, if you've ever seen the sun just seem to sink into the ocean or sink into the earth itself, whereupon the season of summer is coming, and it's going to be a hot one. It's already been hot in a lot of places. We've had a lot of humidity, a lot of water. So now the sun is coming, and the sun is saying no more hibernating. The sun is saying, come out, rekindle your passions and your creativity and your energy for life. Get out and play. You know, it's like the lazy days of summer are signs of lemonade, yellow. The signs of summer is swimming pools and beaches and vacation. And you know, I've been the past week on the airplane, I've been hearing all these people telling me and sharing with me their summer plans. I don't have any. I need to start thinking of some. Oh, I'm jealous. But everybody's going somewhere fabulous. But be honest, I like to do my travel off season when everyone else is back to school and work, and then everything is not so crowded. But it also can be fun too to be out there with everyone else enjoying the just taking a break for the lazy days of summer. And the sun is here just in time for us to see its light. Our last card, guys, is the Master of Time. Oh my God. This is what we've been talking about. Oh, and look at that screen behind us. We're still in that energy of 853. That is a beautiful, beautiful color and a beautiful energy radiating. And it's right here in time for the Time Master. I just got to take a minute. Oh, he is strong. This card is really knocking the wind out of me. That's why when I start choking and coughing, doing the reading and got to drink water, it's because these cards, you know, there's a card somewhere, or all the cards, a combination together, are just so powerful that they are just taking the wind out of me. It's just, you know, I have to take a few minutes and, you know, I have a heat flash. I got to take a drink of water. The Time Master. Wow. This is what we've been talking about. Time is fluid. Time has no ending. Only we give it an ending. Time, Father Time, the Master of Time, is a construct of the human mind through which life events are seen to flow in an orderly fashion, you know, from the past to the future. This, however, is an illusion. Time is an illusion, guys. Time moves in patterns, fractals, like that spiral. Time's turning like a wheel, and other moving straight as an arrow. So time can either go forward, time can go in a circle, but time never goes backwards. You know, people always talking about time machines creating time travel, where they feel like, or there's TV shows around time travel, going back and trying to rediscover or change fate. Humans see time like a ticking clock. And, you know, this image is just to remind us that there's only so much time, you know, to spend in life. So it's like a currency. It's like, you know, money. It's like at any given moment, we can see time as infinite potential, or we can say time has stopped. So that's that word called scarcity. When you see that time is not moving for you, when you feel that time has a limit, that time has, by this date, by this time, you believe in scarcity. So start looking at time as fluid. Start looking at time as an infinite potential to a vast universe, that everything depends on perspective and not time. When the time master comes, he is saying the most important question: will you break free from limited cause and effect, thinking by moving beyond the illusion and welcoming the cyclical quality of time? That's why you see in this card, there's is more of an astrological, like how like back in the Andes and the Mayans, they came up with the clock, but their clock didn't have the Swiss movement that we have today. Their clock had the sun and the moon and the temperatures and the crops. You know, it's how they lived their life was based on the time of season and understanding the influence of time itself. And that basically you have to really take the wheel of time and turn it into a moment, just moments. You know, when you take back your power of time, meaning you choose to step into life and you take the all-powerful time of the time master and believe that anything you desire is possible, and is possible now. The time master is here. We're talking about the time of the year, the month. We're halfway through this year. And again, that's speaking in verbiage of time, but it helps us focus that it's here now. We're living now, and that when it appears that time is running out, then you start to worry about life. Or I saw a poem. It seems to be popping up everywhere. It's like every time somebody talks about a poem lately, I don't know, it's synchronicity for me, but it's been coming up, that poem, when they talk about waiting for Friday, when you wait for Friday to come, for happiness, for love, for anything in life. When you're waiting for love, we wait for the weekend. When we're waiting for money, we're waiting for payday. When we're waiting to be in love, we're waiting to find the perfect person, when a lot of times when you look around, it's right in front of you. The problem is we think we have all the time in the world, and so we put other things more important in front of those dreams, because we asked, we dreamed, we believed, and we received, and then when it's standing in front of us, we don't have time for it. We say timing is all off, timing is all wrong, but the time master says don't miss your destiny. Don't miss your gifts. Don't miss your pot of gold, because it's here now. Okay, so you can't say, well, did I miss it? Did I miss it? Is it gone? Did I screw up? Well, you still got time, because time is spiral. It's still moving. It's just get on the wheel and go get what you want. Time is now. Make a move. Step into it. It's yours. You asked for it. It showed up. You let it go. Go get it. That's where we are, guys. I'm going to end it right here. The time master has said it all. These cards, they just get more and more powerful by every reading. I hope you have a wonderful week. There's the beginning of summer in the United States. They celebrate 4th of July as the independence of America. Whatever you do on this July 4th, no matter where you are in the world or beyond, I hope you understand and tap into Father Time and know that it's all an illusion. Namaste.